Alright you guys, I'm back and it is a jungle. So let me give you a tour before I go and start hacking and changing things. We did get some rain, so while I was gone we got probably like 3 whole inches all in 1 week and back to back, so the ground is fully saturated right now. So things that love the heat are doing well, and other things have kind of fizzled out. I got to check on this colony. So this happens from time to time. You have to clear out the entrances. I absolutely should have given them a wider entrance for ventilation. But anyway, that's still a strong colony. Got some shade. You'll see lots of sunflowers, lots of Mexican gherkin. That's this guy. Lots of oranges this year. That's gonna be fun. So we got some pepper that made it. We've got some roselle that didn't quite take off. Probably got some drought stress or dry stress. Squashes are definitely gone. You can see the persimmons are swelling, getting bigger. Looks like there might even be a broken branch. But there's some shade back here, some shady spots. The apples have all fallen. That was the apple tree, unfortunately. And that's okay. Turk's cap's coming in. It's a jungle. You see the pomegranate right there, fruit set. There's a couple other small ones. Let's see. And there's definitely some fruit set on the changshu. I see a lot of little guys. But yeah, here's the path. It's like almost overgrown. It is overgrown. I definitely am gonna have to do some trimming on my pecan grafts, but they're definitely still taking off, doing well. Oh man, the difference, the temperature difference right here, like I'm in the shade, is probably like 15-20 degrees versus in the sun. It's nice and cool. This is brand new. I lost my big agave. And that's just, I mean, probably too much moisture. That thing's been there since the beginning. But that's okay. That's always the fun. So like, I love coming back because there's always something that's different, something that's changed. You know, this is impressive. The tomatoes still going. They're a little bit on the small side, but most other tomatoes usually quit around here. So, but the cherry is still going. That's sun gold. Got a jungle. Can y'all see how much of a jungle this is? Well, there's a big carpenter bee. See that guy? So you can tell the difference between a carpenter bee and a bumblebee, because carpenter bees have a shiny hiney and bumblebees have a hairy abdomen. Shiny hiney. I like that. We got maybe a chance at some papaya before it, because we're already getting fruit set. So that'll probably finish before it gets too cold. You see pepper vine. Pepper vine is taking over, and this is a path. So I'm forging through. This is usually what happens. Giant ragweed and pepper vine. That's what this stalk is, giant ragweed. Somewhere back there, there's a citrus tree. Ooh, and maybe some ripe figs. I'm not gonna go there right now. It would make the video too long, but I did not hold any fruit, so I was excited because this hachilla, this persimmon, had set some fruit, but it looks like they all fell off. We should be getting into jujube season soon, so here's passion fruit, and that's early. Usually they take a little longer, but this is the crazy potential of nature when things are allowed to compete, but there's a balance to the competition. So here's the jujube, right? And it's getting smothered by some passion vine, and way down there, there's even more fruit hiding out. That is a pear. Pears aren't ready for another couple months, maybe a month and a half. But there's quite a few jujube up here, and that jujube it'll just keep on going once those first fruits start to ripen. So onward through the jungle. Let's see. This colony is definitely going to get a little more, not a ton more sunlight, but just open up that flight path a little bit, help them out. I just saw that. I remember the falsa over there. I really want to check that out. I really have not been through the garden yet. Let's see, we can go back here. This will be a longer update. So, oh my gosh, the temperature change. It is so nice in the shade. Love it. But let's see, moist water's still high. That means we got good rains. The bamboo dropped a lot of leaves. Let's see over here. I might have to cut some more light for this avocado, give it one last chance to push up through the canopy. I planted a big old cherry of the Rio Grande right back here. Actually, here's the treasure. That's got some good seed. Hard shell. I think it was the summer squash though. I don't want, so we're not really out of the summer, so I don't want to trample everything just yet. Oh, I just got stung. That's good too to see. Hopefully I didn't mess them up too bad. Yeah, they're still good. So these are my favorite wasps. I've probably told you about them a bunch, but the red and yellow striped wasp. And that's a pretty decent sized colony, so that's why they stung me. But their sting's not bad, and they usually don't. I'll go back there and see afterwards if I still have that cherry of the Rio Grande, because it was a really late planting. Let's see if the avocados held on the tree. That would be cool. They often drop, so let's see. Do I have any avocados? Yes, I do. Check it out. That's gonna hang on right there. Maybe any others? I don't know. There might be one or two more. But hey, even one, that's a start, you know? Because the tree's still standing. It's not too sunburned. I'm happy about that. It's pretty. That's a good thing. Avocados are tough. So here we got good fruit set on the blood orange that held. There's that colony that I dropped down out of the tree. They look strong, maybe ready for a fully open bottom. They also look like they're leaning a little bit forward. That was a last minute thing. Let's check out these colonies. Yeah, that's about right. They look pretty full. They've got open bottoms, so I'm going to be able to pull honey off of all of these colonies in the next couple days. Here's more pears. I think that's a pineapple pear. Let's see. I mean, the fire blight, I don't think I have a chance for pears in the long term. I've seen so much fire blight pressure here. So like on that last tree, the little pockets, and I'd have to go in and trim and manage for it. So I'm not sure how we're gonna do. So I did send my friend out. I told him to come out and pick gherkin, and I don't think he ever did. So I might have to do a lot of gherkin picking. So you see, it's a weed, and that's what you do with stink bugs. But still lots of gherkin, a great plant. Could just go all summer. Let's go check out Bell Falsa and see if I missed the fruit or not. Oh, that was a baby rabbit. I should stop talking, show you guys stuff. It looks like the moringa has flopped over, which, you know, this is just so deep of compost. It happened last year. I don't see why it wasn't going to happen again. I'm going to have to clear out this citrus from underneath, you know, all that Mexican gherkin. There goes the baby rabbit again. There was even some plants here, I think some peppers, or there's a rose. Oh no, this is rabbits that did this to the rose. I'm gonna have to cage that or get some bamboo. But this is what I'm hoping for. Maybe there's a fruit still on the tree. Here's one, but that looks small. Here's another one. Not quite ripe yet, or at least not soft. I'm gonna keep an eye on these. I want to give it a try. You know how that goes. I want to give it a try. And I think I missed, let's see. No, let's see. Here's some pineapple guava. Definitely didn't miss the pineapple guava. What else? Another good strong looking colony. And cherry tomatoes still going. I mean, that's a lot of stink bug damage, you know. There's flies and everything. So the wildlife is coming in here, but there's still a lot of fruit hanging out. I'm gonna open them up. I'll get some good ventilation. All right, what else? The loofah never made it up. So I wanted this vine, you know, by fall to be up on top. It hasn't. It's just hanging out in the shade. It probably like just lost its grip and fell and lost its grip and fell. But, you know, making some loofah. Pear. I don't see a lot of fruit on that kumquat, but I do see flowers, so it might be trying again. Here's another really cool spot. 15 degrees, man. Moist shade. It's the bomb. Okay, got to get on with this tour. Sorry, it's a long one. There's a lot of garden here. It's wild. There should be some fruit set on here. This is Mammoth, I think, and the other one is Nikita. So we'll see how big they get. There's another good, strong-looking colony. They're choosing to block off that top entrance. Let there be light. All right, you guys. So I just punched that hole in the canopy, which was much more full and dense and casting a lot of shade on these guys right here. So there's the Republic of Texas sweet orange, and there's this recently grafted pecan, which is an Okani cultivar. And both of these were kind of languishing in the shade, so I had to go up there, and you can see some of the cuts. You know, a couple big cuts there. This whole edge got some big cuts. Another big cut on those trees, and I'm just about to take out, you see those two right there. I'm going to take out the one on the right to let more of that afternoon light through. And I thought it would be a cool video just because, I don't know, there's something about this balance. Like, I didn't want y'all thinking that there's, you know, that it just, garden just happened this way, or like there's big disturbances that I make all the time. We make disturbances in our gardens, and sometimes the larger it is, you know, it can be really, really destructive, but at the same time it can be really, really productive. So I sometimes come in and I take out entire trees, and I make massive changes and dig big things, and it's that earth moving kind of destruction, but it can have a lot of value, especially the more thought out and detailed it can be. So that's kind of maybe a cool garden idea, of that the larger the disturbance, the more thinking, you know, the more nuance should go into it, at least my opinion. But anyway, these guys are gonna, you know, really improve. I'm gonna cut a little more light. I've actually already cut a lot in there, and I cut a couple on this one, but I might cut a little more. And that's the name of the game. Now I'm growing out all of these trees. You saw, like, boom, 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 some nice, you know what I'm doing here. I'm leaving these trees for poles, for eventually being able to build with. But here's another one that's next on my list. So this is the density that it would, you know, go to naturally, but I'm not going to get much yield out of this honey mandarin if I leave the canopy like that. So in fact, this branch right here, that guy, that's probably coming out, because that's pomegranate there. You know, there's a cherry of the Rio Grande. There's, you know, this apple behind's getting a little shade. So I can either go cut it back, or I can thin out the interior. And when it comes to pruning, I'm a big fan of thinning out the interior, because by thinning out the interior, it's like more sustainable. When you hack on something, you turn it into a hedge. Hedges are thick and dark. So like these trees, you know, same sort of deal. I'm coming in just a minute to thin out the interior again, because it's been done multiple times. But rather than like hacking them back, they're starting to open up, and they're letting more light through. And you know, there's fruit set. I get some fruit set on this kumquat near full shade. You see those flowers? I've got some fruit, well, not much, but there's a couple on this persimmon right over there. So if I go up, sorry about the sun, and I just thin out that upper canopy, if I find a couple, you know, decent cuts to push those leaves out a little further, like even this one right above my head, that's unnecessary. That can just be the difference, and then they can all coexist in this density, you know, that is a lot more than what we think is possible. And so in addition to getting some persimmon and some kumquat, I've gotten some timber, some potential. Not that I would ever take these guys out, they're more of my babies than these smaller ones, but I'm getting some potential timber right? We're stacking functions. And here the stacking functions is with the yam, right? So I'm getting some food out of that one. But just that you can go in and manage for light, and that's probably the biggest way that we can manage our food forest, is managing where the light is, where it goes, because it takes one little snip and you've changed the course and, you know, privileged one over another, favored one over another. So hopefully that was found some value in that little snippet, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace. What else? More papaya, more moringa. I swear this is a seedling because I didn't put anything there. That's interesting. I guess that's rats eating the eggplant there. I mean, they're super old eggplant. But it's good to see, you know, things balancing out. Oh man, this avocado, I wonder, well, let's see. I don't have, oh, there's just some fruit set on this citrus, the Mars, but most of this is new growth because of the freeze damage. And I got some tomatoes behind there. I know I've been missing the figs, but if we can find one, that would be awesome. They usually just, the birds just get them. Oh, man, they really haven't been eating them that much. This must be peak fig season. There's one getting eaten on. But anyway, look at these beauties. LSU Gold. It's an awesome fig. And this one right here is ready. Look at that. I wish, it's hard to see so many on the ground going to the flies. But that's okay. That's okay. There's a lot more out there. There's some more tomatoes. I know the nectarine had set some fruit, but I think I missed it. It wasn't much. It was its first year to set fruit. Here's some good zucchini seed. Boom. Gotta collect that today. What else? Oh, I wanted to check on this avocado. So I had kind of, you know, this one got pretty good freeze damage, and I put up that shade cloth on the west side. It's decent. It probably put on about a foot of growth. See that new sprout up there? So that's decent, and I like the light level it's getting. It's nice and protected. There's some figs. Here's fruit set. That's my first Ujikitsu fruit set. I mean, it's tried in past years, but I took them off. So that's cool, and that tree is really, it has some width to it. I don't think I got a lot of fruit set on this pineapple guava. Lots of sunflowers. I was coming back here to check on the bees. Uh-oh. No, maybe not. It's mainly an empty bottom, and it's kind of, they're sealing it all up with propolis, which, if there was a lot of bees in there, they wouldn't want it so sealed, so it probably means that they've swarmed and left, and they're trying to make it easier to defend against beetles, because the top is almost completely sealed as well. So that's what happens sometimes. Talk about great, cool shade. It's like 10 degrees, 15 degrees. I'm just gonna say it every time. It's so nice. And loquat is, you know, casts some really deep shade. Anyway, onward. All right, I'm not even gonna go back there. That's the back 40. That's where the rabbits can hang out and do their thing, and I won't mess with them. The pond is getting really low. Hopefully it didn't go dry because I had stocked it with mosquito fish. I have to restock it if it goes dry. But man, things look pretty happy. The trees that are established are strong, and the temperature difference, you know, what the shade can do. It's so nice and cool. Lots of biomass. Value the biomass. Lots of giant ragweed. I love giant ragweed. Let's go check on the chickens. Which way? It's a jungle. Well, I see this is the wild Texas cherry tomato. This plants itself. I see the blackberries are finished. They were, you know, in season when I left. Here's the muscadines. Forget I gotta go close so you guys can see, but you know, good fruit set as usual. Hey ladies. Now I have some sad news, and that is I lost 2 chickens while I was gone, and They both were killed inside of the coop, not out here in the run. And so what I think the issue was that my timer it's an automatic timer, but it's a set timer, and so I had programmed it and not adjusted it for the ever expanding amount of daylight. Or maybe it was just off, I don't know. But something came in and killed one bird, and then came in a couple days later and killed another bird. And I was really fortunate that it was just one bird. Here you go, ladies. So I lost one of the buff orpingtons, and I lost the new Miss Scarlet, the production red. So you guys can have the rest of that fig. It was a good one. But what's really cool in here, so this chicken run is cool. I mean, it's high 90s out there in the sun. It's probably, you know, high 70s, low 80s here in the shade. A lot of moisture under our feet. So I think the chickens are doing okay. They're just hiding out during the day. What do you think, ladies? You guys doing okay? Sad to see some friends go. I'm so grateful to a friend who's been taking care of them, you know, knowing that they were well loved and cared for. Hey, it's Miss Zena. The energy just kind of feels different, doesn't it? You guys slowed down for the summer. Hey, Tindora. It's been a while. Yeah, hurry up and finish. We got a video to do. All right, onward. So there's going to be a lot of grapes falling down on their heads. You can see a lot of muscadine. And see, I did try and shove some sweet potato in here. This is cool. I had seed potatoes that I planted to just send some sprouts up, see if they would nibble on it, but they really haven't. They're probably just too hot. I gave him that melon today. Let's see. I think some other ladies are inside. I wonder if the black soldier flies are still going. Ooh, that's no good. Got fire ants. Fire ants are bad. They eat black soldier flies. Those are black soldier flies right there. I'm gonna spread these guys out. Hopefully kill some babies. I don't know. It just hadn't had anything added to it. And this probably's got some fire ants or soldier flies. Yeah, look at that. That's a bunch of dead soldier flies being eaten by fire ants. That's intense. Well, I'll figure out something. Maybe do my research. Sorry for taking so long. Alright, I'll be back, ladies. Enjoy that melon. What else? I mean, sunflowers, right? I got the wild Maximilian wild sunflower up high. The corn had all finished before I even left, but there's some seed, some squash seed. Let's get going, Mickey. Sorry. Got a duck. Yeah, these paths, I love how they just kind of seal up and then I have to cut them open again. But I still see some tomatoes on the sun gold. No tomatoes there. Well, sun-dried tomatoes on the Juliet. They got too dry. And the San Marzano, yeah, same thing. They just dry or wet. Something got them. Peanuts, that's a fail. That's okay. Over here on this side, we got to fight our way to the pond. And of course the pond is going to be completely covered with water plants because ponds require a good deal of maintenance to keep them in check. And so that's project on the radar. You know, pretty soon I'll clear out those plants. This colony, I did a video on it. It looks small but alive. I'll have to go in there and see. I've got my avocado still going. That's awesome. Good to see the Arizona. Pretty decent fruit set, not really. Thin fruit set on the pomegranate and black spot and stink bugs. I smashed stink bugs. Yeah, I missed the apples, so the apples are done. I see a lot of figs. That's one of my favorites. Roses ready for mowing again. The catlay guava are still alive. That's good. A weed, that yam, I'm gonna have to dig that up. Same with this loofah, don't really want it to do anything. The rose is good. You know, here's where the competition is okay. That pepper vine's covering this grapefruit, but before it does any damage, I'm gonna be able to take it off, and it'll just be a great pulse to the system. So right before I left, I cut on this mulberry because I knew this lemon tree would be damaged by the low light level. So I wanted to get at that little hole, that gap I created. And I'm probably gonna cut more on this mulberry tree. But that shade is helping right now. You know, it's helping the pineapple guava. It likes it cool. And it's a jungle back there, but the avocado is looking good. Let's see. So I see a lot of new growth on that avocado. That's good. I'll definitely do some trimming, keep the vines off of it. And finally some fruit set on this cashew seedless. It's been a long time. This is really too much shade. So I'm hoping that this elderberry will lose some branches, or I don't know, we'll see. Because that's no small, not a small mulberry either. So these two are really close. But those are the kind of decisions that are fun. You can see that there's some really dense shade coming out of that loquat. Great dense shade. Ugh. What else? I never grafted this pecan, never got around to it. I don't know that I can even leave it another year. I might just cut it down. But there's a little satsuma behind it that is in full deep dark shade and still set of fruit and is still happy as can be. So that's nice. Gonna have a lot of beautyberry. That's what this is. A lot of beautyberry. Let's go. See some tomatoes. Some more Suriname cherry. Let's see. Not much growth. Well, that's not true. Decent growth. It's just not as much of a jungle back here because of the lower light level. The upper tree canopy slows things down a little bit. I tried to protect my inland sea oats. The rabbits really love it. That's going to be a losing battle. This guy looks happy. So my curry plant was scorched out in the sun and now it's flowering. How often do you get to see curry Mariah flowers? Not often. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Let's see. So over here, I left all the fruit on this honey mandarin, so that's going to be nice. There's some good fruit set, and I probably will get it a little more light. And by going up there and just trimming out a few branches, I can help that fruit to fill out. It's a jungle, and really that's about it. I don't think I planted much new. I did some trimming up high in those trees right before I left to let some light in, mainly to get that loquat to grow that direction and be balanced. Here's some good shoot water sprout kind of growth out of this citrus. Republic of Texas, this wants to be a big tree, and it will. I just need to make sure I keep giving it light, so I'll probably be cutting this or some of those branches. I forgot if this pecan graft took. Yeah, it did. Okay. So this was, well, it should be labeled somewhere. I'll find the label, but I'm going to try and grow really close together here and have this pecan tree. Every other oak is getting phased out, and pecan and citrus growing up together. It'll be interesting. I know. It's definitely really too close, but it's amazing what plants can do. So that is about it. There's some dieback on the bay tree. A lot of pears, but it looks like this pear tree is getting pulled over by the weight of the pears. This is one where this oak tree has to come out. Anyway, lots to do. Here's a loss. That's definitely from drought stress. Those poor blueberries, they got to be watered. And then, whoop, almost tripped. Lots of grapes. This is a Southern Home grape. So it's my non-muscadine. It's kind of a hybrid muscadine. But that cluster over there, that plant will have a good bit of grapes. Anyway, that is the tour. I'm about to start chopping and dropping, and it's great to know that there's moisture in the ground. Otherwise I wouldn't do it. I just appreciate the shade. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. I'll have a new video as soon as I clean things up and you can see the before and after. All right, catch you later. Peace.